Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, April the 20th, and this is week 5 of Creative Quarantine. This week we're doing a theme week, and I think I'm going to do theme weeks now going into probably the end of this school calendar year. This week is Harry Potter week, and today is Hermione the cat, or Hermione, a character from Harry Potter, turning into a cat when she was creating a polyjuice potion and she'd accidentally turned herself into a cat. And I'm also going to be, next week is probably going to be another theme week. I'm thinking Marvel, and then the first week of May is going to be probably Star Wars. So today we're going to be drawing Hermione as a cat. Okay, so we're again using a graphite drawing pencil. This is from General Pencil Company. This is a Kimberly 4B. These are my staple for drawing. We're going to be using a kneaded eraser that is shaped like a teardrop, so I can do detail on this edge and then large areas on this side. A high polymer eraser by Pentel, and my trusty Snoopy Doghouse hand sharpener. So let's get into this. So for today, we're going to be doing a portrait of Hermione as kind of a human cat, a human-sized cat. And we're going to be using this entire space here. And we're going to just kind of sketch things out. I'm going to start with, I'm going to be using a large portion of this. I'm not going to be doing an entire body portrait of Hermione. This is going to be kind of more of her head and her upper body, kind of going through the transformation and figuring it out. Like, oh my gosh, I'm turning into a kitty cat. And so what I'm going to be doing now is drawing her head. And this is, again, kind of like that inverted egg shape. So just draw a circle and then elongate it elliptically into, so that it looks kind of like an upside down egg. And I'm actually going to tilt her head a little bit, so I'm going to indicate this. Okay. Her neckline is here. I'm going to give her kind of, so this is going to be a majority of just like of her upper body. And I'm going to place a cauldron down here. Kind of playing around with this. Cauldron down here. This is the opening of the cauldron. And we're going to make it a kind of a thick one too as well. So we're going to give it a little lip. So I'm rounding this ellipse out just like so. So ellipse and then an ellipse here. That's going to go around. And then as we get to this side of this ellipse, we're going to get closer. See that? So that creates the illusion of the edge as it's farther away, and then as it gets closer, it gets thicker. Does that make sense? And you're going to put another line down here. So you have 1, 2, 3 kind of lines. The edge inside of the cauldron. So 1, 2, 3 lines right there, just like that. Okay. Then we're going to kind of pull this down, just like so. Give it a little bit of an edge. And we're going to go out. Boom. Okay. That's a cauldron where she's making the polyjuice potion. Okay. So we have cauldron, head of Hermione. We're going to give her kind of her upper body here. It's going to be maybe freaking out a little bit because, oh my goodness. Then we're going to draw kind of a hand here, and we're just going to make this kind of a mitten shape for now, because she's going to be looking at it. we're going to draw another kind of mitten. Should I put it here or should I put it... No, we'll put it right... We'll put it right here. Another kind of mitten shape. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? Alright. Now that we have kind of a general sense of where her head's going to go, we're going to start drawing her face. Alright? Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to figure out, how far along is her transformation going to be? Is she going to be more cat-like or more human-like? Is she going to be, what's happening? So maybe the first thing that we're going to do is figure out, like, her eyes. Cats have huge eyes, and their proportions are much different than a human's. So what we'll do is make her eyes larger, as if she's kind of a cat. And give her kind of a kitty cat nose. And give her basically a shocked look on her face. And her mouth is kind of in shock too. Like, holy crap. I'm turning into a cat. So the shape of her mouth is going to be as such. What we can do is also give her kind of like feline kind of mouth on the upper here that are turning into kind of a jowl kind of thing. Now I haven't seen the movie Cats, and I've heard it's not very good at all. So we're going to make kind of a heart shape for her nose, just like that. Alright. And give her big kind of cat eyes, just like so. As if she can't understand, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong with my potion? Her character was not used to failure. Kind of like that smartest kid in your class who can't believe they got a bad grade on a test. Yeah. I'll give her kind of like cat canines there on the corner. There we go. I can't believe it. Give her eyebrows that are in shock. We'll still give her a little hint of eyelashes, yeah? A little shadow over here. Give her the eyelids. And Hermione has these kind of bangs that come down. We'll draw those in. Right? Just like so. Give her a little chin. And instead of her human ears, we're going to give her some cat ears, yeah? Round out the face a little bit, just like so. Jawline. Boom. Okay, now we're going to put the rest of her hair in. That frames her face. And she's known for having in the movies, very frizzy. Not very frizzy hair, but in the books, her hair is notoriously out of control. Right? So we should honor the book too as well. So again, we're framing her face. Doing her bangs, and then also the rest of her hair. Right? Okay. We're going to give her her collared shirt, because she is a Hogwarts student. Button together. Right. Right. Okay. And we cannot forget that Hogwarts tie, so we're going to create kind of a knot shape. And you're going to kind of indicate those parts that go around the collar. Okay. Just like that. And then this is just kind of like an inverted teardrop or hoof shape, and then these curves need to go straight up, and then you pull a knot down. Okay, coming down, and there's a tie. Okay. Pattern of the Gryffindor, boom. And there you go. Should probably give her a sweater actually, so I'm going to cut that back. I'm going to get rid of this and make sure she has a sweater on, because she is a prim proper young student, always with the correct attire, unlike her classmates Ron and Harry. There we go. This is Hermione from Harry Potter turning into a cat. Okay, we got the pollen juice potion cooking. Now I'm debating, do I want to show her hands, or do I want to show paws? I don't know. Maybe what I'll do is I'll show a hand, right? And then I can show one of the hands turning into a paw. Yeah, that might be good. That might work. So we'll do that. We'll draw one hand, kind of turning into, and then one hand, just a regular, normal human hand, Hermione's hand. Just like so. She's freaking out, like, oh my god, what have I done? There we go. And then this one will turn into kind of like a cat's paw. Robe. Yep. Yeah. Okay, and then clean that up a little bit. All right. Maybe. No, I don't think I want to turn that into a paw. I'll make that into another hand. Mostly it's her face we're concerned with. Maybe instead, I got it. She'll be holding the thing that she just drank. The Apologist potion. So I'm just sketching out right now Hermione's hand. she's holding the bottle of apologies that she just drank. Maybe it's a little bit cooler bottle than that, I don't know. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Round that off a little bit. There we go. Better. So, poor Hermione. Poor girl's just not used to screwing up, man. She's just not. And then maybe we also have, in the apologies, we have bubbles. Bubbles coming up. We have steam rising. From the cauldron itself. Poor Hermione. Yeah, alright. So now Hermione is kind of distressed. Just a smidge, right? We're going to get rid of these guidelines, and then we're going to start shading. So once you get to a point where all your searching lines and you've kind of got things figured out compositionally, that's when you start going in and cleaning up your drawing. After you've finished out, figured out your proportions, etc. Right? Go through and just start cleaning things up. And then you finish your drawing. So if you, again, are just joining me, and this is something I say a lot with my videos, but if you're just joining me now, if you miss the beginning of this and you want to participate, as in draw along with me, you can. But click on the link in my bio, and you can go to my YouTube channel. Now, this is week 5, and I drew lessons or tutorials over our break. So, if you missed anything and you want to participate, please just click on the link in the bio and you can follow along on my YouTube channel. Okay? There we go. Picking up some lines. Alright, so now we can get started with the important stuff, which is shading. Okay, so we're going to switch pencils, and we're going to work our way from the top down. I'm going to start with her hair, keep it messy. And if you have followed along with my drawings in the past, you know that I like to chunk hair. So she has not really dark hair, but you know, we're going to kind of just show that variation. We're not going to go crazy with the shading, but what I do is near the hairline, we're going to go with darker colors and vary our lines. I'm going to apply pressure here and pull up to create form with heavier lines and chunk it so that gives the illusion that we have, you know, these bangs here. And chunking meaning that I'm going to connect certain areas like this. Darker values here and darker values here, and then connect them. I'm also going to show highlights. So I'm not going to do a lot of shading up here, because again, she has kind of light hair, or lighter hair. Alright. Same thing over here. Darker around those ears. Darker inside the ears. Same thing here. Just like that. Okay. Keep these hairs darker because they're further away and behind. Again, chunking. And creating the illusion of like colics and parts and things like that. And having certain areas kind of dive behind, because that's how real hair, that's how our hair moves. It isn't doll hair. You don't want to just draw doll hair. Same thing here. Chunking it. Darker, darker, lighter. Okay. So, just doing a bunch of shading right now. Keeping certain areas light, certain areas dark. Closer to the hairline though. be darker. Okay. And we're just slowly building this up. And again, this is that technique I've been talking to my students a lot about. Chunking. Creating the illusion of depth through value shading. We want to keep it a little bit messy because this is, again, kind of Hermione Granger. Her hair wasn't notoriously kind of messy. Now you might notice that I have a piece of paper here, and this is to prevent excessive smudging. I'm making a little label here for apologies here. And some shading. Give it the illusion. Of a bottle. There we go. That she's holding and gripping. She's, again, just wondering what could have gone wrong. Some shadows around there. Define that cheekbone a little bit. Pull the collar around. Same thing here. Nice dark chin shadow. Okay. Collared shirt, tie, give the illusion of a tie fold. There we go. Okay, and then also the obligatory stripe. Boom. Hello, guys. So we're going to push this hair into the back a little bit. We're going to come back to that. I want to darken those values because I want to do something fun. Okay. It's all going to be in the shadow anyway. Same thing here. So I'm using a distant grip on my pencil. And I'm just shading in these areas dark. Why? Because A, they're not going to be a focal point right now. Okay, but it just gives a nice kind of value right now for our Hermione. Right? Okay. We're also going to go through here now. We're going to darken her robe. Yeah. Give some middle values here. Darken the robe. I'm using long shading strokes. Okay. Same thing over here. Long shading strokes. Okay. So got her robe now. Now I have all these kind of swirls that I want to preserve too as well. But I'm going to go through and lay down some values for our cauldron here. In between the swirls of smoke. Some more here too as well. Right. Okay. Now, pretty good. So what I also want to do is going to go through and kind of spend a little time with the details of my bubbles on the surface of the cauldron. And all I'm doing is adding some heavier line and a little bit of dimension with lines. As you can see here for our Apologies potion. Yeah? And then wherever I don't have a bubble, that's going to be the edge of my cauldron. Right? And boom. And then I'm going to put some, I'm going to shade these areas. See that? And because bubbles, the walls of bubbles, this is kind of a scientific thing, but the walls of bubbles are going to be thinner than the actual potion. So there'll be a lighter value. You guys see that? I'm using kind of a scribble technique, and I'm preserving a little bit of the white of the page to create a cool reflection. See that? Fun. And I'm going to use a little bit lighter value, and that to go around the bubble, because I used a dark, heavier line to describe the bubble. Okay. And I'm preserving these like swirls, see that? Because I want to show those. So I'm just going to darken those. And I'm going to figure out where they're going. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And I'll have to do a little bit of erasing correspondingly. Alright. So Hermione freaking out. Oh my gosh, what have I done? So we'll go through in these areas that are within my swirls kind of thing. Get a little erased. And I can clean those up as best I can. Go through with my pentel here. Get a little bit more aggressive with taking away some of the value. And then I can figure out what else I need to shade now that I've taken some of that away. Right? Okay. There we go. Okay. So now I know that around here I'm taking those values away. And I could preserve those. Right? There. And over here, same thing. Kind of have it fade away. Okay. So now that we have that information, we can now go through and kind of clean things up, darken some values, and move on. So, now that I know, I can darken these. I'm not going to use that. This is going to be part of her robe. So I can darken these values really, really dark. Same thing here, between here. It's going to be reserved for her hair. Forgot this area right here. And that's part of her hand. Darken that because that's part of her robe. Boom. Okay. Gray of her sweater. And we are cruising on time. Okay. Make this look more like knit. And there we go. Ta-da. And there we go. Allora. So, all I'm doing now is kind of cleaning things up on this drawing. Now that we have kind of like our blueprint of where things are going to go, or where things are supposed to go. We're going to add some kind of details to our smoke. Our like cartoon smoke here. Clean up Hermione's hands. And give her some shadows on her hands. There we go. Same thing over here. Give her little hints of knuckles. Musculature of her hand. Through value shading. Just by adding a little bit darker shading on one side, it's going to give you more weight and make the hand look more realistic. I mean, this is kind of a quasi-realistic, fun cartoon drawing. Stylized. Darker values, create those folds, having those slide down, more weight, again more weight. Boom, boom. Same thing over here. Okay. We are going to do a little bit of detail on the cauldron with directional lines to hint at the shape of the lip of this cauldron. See that? And we're just kind of smoothing out our values. And notice I'm not using my finger. This is something I tell kids all the time. Don't do that. You're just going to create a paint. Okay. So we're going to go across here. And I use curved lines for this last pass. In reverse direction as I get to this edge. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, let's see, what did I forget here? Oh, yes. Well, let's go back to Hermione's hair. Let's kind of play with this. Again, chunking and darkening my values around the smoke. Or not smoke, but the steam. And her hands and fingers. just want to create a fun texture. And then also some kind of frizzy stray hairs on the edge. Because in the books, her hair is kind of, let's just say, out of control. It is not that Rita Alsassoon look that they gave Emma Watson in the movies, that's for sure. Okay. Lighten this up. Short sleeve. Boom. Darker line. Darker line. Spend a little bit more time cleaning up this area around her. Darken around the hairline. Use my kneaded eraser. Go through and clean up around the eyes. Get rid of those guiding lines. There we go. Okay. Alright. So there we go. Hermione Granger turning into a cat. I want to thank everybody for checking in and joining me today. We're going to be doing live draws now at 12 o'clock instead of 11 o'clock. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay home, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Thank you.